So this is a 2019, August 2019. It's a U.S. General. This is the tool cart 5-drawer from Harbor Freight. This gap right here, when I got out of the box, these two drawers were touching. And if you pull it out, you can see a little bit of the rub mark there. And that's through the shiny part of the powder coating. I contemplated taking it back because it wasn't only that, but also this rail from about here to here is bent out. Like somebody grabbed it and tried to open it and forgot that there were latches here. So it's like they pulled on it and forgot. I would assume that was at the factory. Somebody went to open the drawer to throw the handle in and forgot it was secured and then grabbed it and threw it in there. It's not the first one that I've seen that. People forget that these are held in by these latches. So, contemplated taking the whole thing back just for the simple fact that $200 to me is a lot of money, so I didn't want something that in 3 months was going to cause me problems. The issue was that's a 3-hour ordeal to take this back to our local Harbor Freight and get it swapped out. So I think I'm going to deal with it. I've grabbed this rail here and just through some firm pressing got it to bend back in place with no cracking of any sort. That's just a shine right there, but no cracking in the powder coat underside either. This drawer here being low on this side, I did just grab it, put some pressure underneath the drawer and let it sit there for a while. So I just wedged a board underneath there, and just enough, not enough to lift the whole box, but I wanted to see if it was going to bend, because what I didn't want was something that was really floppy. And right here, you see this, it almost looks like it's bent on camera, but it's not. I really think it's just the rolled edge. But after messing with it for a while, it's off, but I mean, it's probably a 32nd of an inch off there, and it really needs to be a lot more. You can see the gaps on this one, and they're consistent all the way across. This one's real low there, and then it's high out here. What I believe happened is this rail got cinched down just a hair too low. The rail was just a hair too high. The box was just a hair too low. Probably drilled the hole just slightly off. The tolerance in the hole, the tolerance in the rivet, the tolerance in the rail, all lined up perfect to spread these apart, and now it's low. You can't grab here and just roll this up more. It doesn't work like that, because that's spot welded underneath there. But instead of spending 3 hours, I thought, you know, what I'll do is it's a brand new box, that sucks. But 3 hours is definitely worth something, and when you're on a 2-hour box, or a $200 box, 3 hours is damn near the price of another box. So I figured, you've got the holes here and here, let's go ahead and pop this rivet off. Lift this up where it needs to be, lift the drawer up where it needs to be, re-drill the holes, pop a new rivet in. Hopefully it doesn't bind the rails, and then we'll be good. Because the only other rail fix that you could do is But I take the box back because you can't fix this part. In here is a plate that hangs down, and it's spot welded to the bottom underneath this mat. So this whole thing here is holding that vertical brace in place, and your rails on these three drawers are riveted to that. So if you had to lift that whole thing up, well, now you're talking major surgery. But since these are all good gaps, I don't assume that's actually the problem. I think it really is just this front corner of the box. Just slightly too low. Now it might be the whole side, but I'm going to try this front one first. And if it is the whole side, easy enough. Again, it's 3 rivets. I've got the rivets. We'll just go ahead and pop them off. That takes maybe 10 minutes instead of 3 hours. Probably void the warranty on the box, but let's be realistic. What's going to go bad on the box enough to take the thing back? Harbor Freight's pretty good. They're more than likely willing to send you out a set of rails or a set of casters if you ever break those. So more than likely the box is never going to go back. The locks in the rear might be a reason that you would send it back if those were broke, jammed up. Now, I do have one other issue with these. These top drawers are that one latch, but I had to push on it pretty hard, and I had to make sure all my pressure was on this side. So it's kind of like the whole box is cranked a little bit this way. Just a hair. I mean, these things are tight. Even the ones in the store are very tight. But this one's latching a little bit better now because I know where to push, but also just because I've done it probably 20 or 30 times as I've cranked on this box to get it to clear this gap. But see there, you push in the center, it won't click. You have to push it over there. So I'm going to assume this was a Friday build box. This one's the same way. It's clicking if you push good enough. Right now it's actually doing a lot better now that I've worked on it a little bit. There again, it doesn't want to go in. So they're very tight. These, however, click with almost no effort. I mean, they do much better. So you can kind of see it. That drawer looks like it's cranked down a little bit. So I think we're going to fix that one with a rivet. These look like they're cranked down. The gaps are good though. I guess they are a little bit lower there, but I'm not going to spend 3 hours going back. But I may, after we mess with this for a while, if these don't free up a little bit, I may go in and take just a hair off of these latches just to make sure they always latch, because I don't want to slide the drawer, not hear the latch, and just forget about it, and then go dragging it across the driveway and turn around and see this thing walking out on me. So it was $197, I think, on sale. I still think it's a solid box, despite this. And if it wasn't a 3-hour ordeal to take it back, plus the labor of loading it back in the truck, because this thing's heavy. This 5 drawer is, I think it says 60 kilograms. I think this what the box says. Yeah. So, I mean, she's heavy, especially for an old disabled veteran like me with a bum shoulder waiting to go into surgery. So loading it back up is an ordeal. Then the 3-hour drive over, deal with customer support, the drive back. It just wasn't worth it. I'll go ahead and fix it and have a box that hopefully will do me good for another 20 years like the last one has done. So now it's time to put it together. When you get these things, um, they come packaged up pretty good. The shocks are off of it. Of course, there's all the bracing. There's a little tray that goes on the bottom of it. Some more bracing there, and then all your pieces and parts that put it all together. This box, for myself, like I said, I've got a pretty bad shoulder, getting ready to go in for surgery. That was a challenge to get lifted off of that dolly. But I think an average grown adult will be able to strongman that out of the crate and sit it on the floor. But it has good edges right here, and that's where your lid comes over the side of it, and your screwdrivers go down through here. But this right here is a good lift point. Grab your wife, grab your buddy, whatever. Put two people on that and lift it out of there so that you don't accidentally drop it or set it on your foot, because you don't want to try to put a hand on this side and a hand on the other side and try to muscle that thing out of the crate and then set it down on your foot, because these corners right here are going to suck very bad if you stick that on your foot. So, and I've just got the lid laid all the way back. It's a piano hinge, so it lays back just fine while I'm working on it. And that's the box.